Hi everyone, and welcome to our new prompt week. So you would have watched Rachel's first because she's revealing the prompt, and I am going to continue on with it. So the prompt for this week, just in case you're watching me first, is your favorite flower. So this is a hard one because I'm sure, like most of you, I have, you probably have too, many different favorite flowers. I have a lot, so many. I love most flowers. There aren't many I don't like. I don't like red roses. Really don't like them, especially the dark red roses. I don't like anything too dark. I don't like dark red. I like pretty colours, pink, yellow, sort of peachy colours, things like that, and bright colours. But anyway, back to my favourite flower. So yes, I do love all flowers, or just about all flowers, but the thing I love the most and what I would gravitate to in a florist is gorgeous pink roses. They're definitely my favourite. Pale pink, bright pink, whatever pink, just pink. So I had this fabric with some really pretty roses on, just a cotton, nothing special. And I got it from Melanie, purveyor of Reclaimed Textiles, on Instagram, and it actually arrived today. I got a huge delivery from Melanie today. I think it was probably my biggest order I've ever had. I let it go on for a while. So I got this really pretty fabric. Actually, I got several floral fabrics, and I decided to cut out the pretty pink rose, and it's going to go next to my pond, completely out of proportion with sizes. But I'm going to paint this one with gorgeous wool threads. So these are the gum nut yarns, and they are hand dyed natural mohair wool. So I've got, these are the ones Rach and Mum and I got at the Cruel Goblin. We got lots of discontinued colours for, I think it was half price, can't remember now. So yeah, a lot are out of the box. I have a lot more than this, but anyway, these are some of my colours. So I'm going to use, most of them are the mohairs. This one's a mohair, but then I'm adding in a few greens that are just normal. Some of them are Appletons, things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put a piece of lace in the background, because otherwise I think it's really boring. And I was just going to stitch this down first, and then I'm going to tack my flower down and start painting it with my mohair wools. Okay, so you could pin this in place, but I'm just going to hold it and stitch it wherever you feel. I'm just using a normal white sewing machine cotton just to stitch it in different places, and I'll do this sort of along the top, down the sides, along maybe a few stitches through the middle, just to hold it in place. It won't go anywhere. So what's been happening? School's been busy. I had a lot of sport on again on the weekend, lots of rugby. Didn't have hockey because of Mother's Day. I went down to see Juju, and we had Mother's Day with Mum. Unfortunately, my younger brother, he was coming down with his two little boys and his wife as well. And partway down, it was raining and his windscreen wiper just stopped moving. So it wasn't working and would have been too dangerous for him to drive. So he had to turn around because he wasn't that far from home. And so he didn't actually make it down, which is a pity. But we had a lovely night with my dad, Jamie's grandpa, at his place. Good to see him because his wife went overseas that night, so it was nice just to have a night with Dad. And then got up in the morning, and for Mother's Day, Jamie made me pancakes. Thank you, Jamie. Lemon and sugar, not pancakes, actually crepes. We call them pancakes, but they're crepes. Lemon and sugar crepes, and then we went over and picked up Juju. We had a look through her local town at a few stores. Found a lovely book, which I might show you actually, because I think you'll like it. And there was only one copy, so I asked them to order another one in. I know I got one for Mum too, so I don't know if you've picked it up yet, Mum, but she should be getting that soon if she hasn't. It's actually goes nicely with our gardens because it's about florals. So in a minute I'll pause my camera and I might just show you the book because it's really pretty. And then we had lunch with Mum, looked around a little bit, and then Jamie, my son, who's on his learner license, drove home, and that was actually really good because I made him drive almost the whole way home, like right into the city, and he only stopped sort of one street away from where we lived because he got a little bit panicked because there was a cyclist on the side of the road and he wasn't quite sure what to do, and he was a bit funny on the brakes when he'd driven so well. Like he drove probably 3 hours that day back and forward into town and stuff like that, and then he had a little panic and he didn't want to turn into our driveway because it's a total, you know, right angle turn and it's too sharp for him. He wasn't ready for that, so we switched just around the corner from home. But over here in Australia, the kids, when they're on their learner license, they have to drive 120 supervised hours before they can go to their, what's called their Ps, their provisional license, which is where they can drive without another license holder. So Jamie is working towards that. How many hours have you done? 12. He's done 12 hours. So not that many yet. We're only in the beginning stages. So yeah. So I need to get him driving more. You can drive us to school, Jamie, tomorrow. He doesn't like it that much. He's not that keen yet. He'll get there. Everyone's nervous when they first learn to drive. It gets easier. Anyway, what else have we had? So if you stay around at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some snippets of Juju's work. Plus, I made some videos of some other things that she's been doing, which I'll show you at the end of this video. So you see a few snippets of Juju's work. So we'll have the 2 weeks on this favourite flower prompt, and then we have 2 prompts to go. We're almost done. So I'll talk to Rach, but probably at some stage next week, we will do our reveal for our volume, what are we up to? 4, volume 4. So we are very excited to reveal that to you. We will make a video separately to volume 3. So we'll make video 1 and 2 early so that you can start thinking about your project and gathering supplies. And we do hope that you enjoy the new project. We do try to come up with something different each time. It can be hard when you kind of get a bit stuck with your ideas, like our first 2 volumes were books, but obviously one was just our random first one, and then you know, the initial plan, we weren't even thinking we'd go volume 1, 2, 3, but that's how it's ended up. You know, who even knew if anyone would be interested in what we were doing. So we are up to volume 4, which means by the end of volume 4, we've been doing this for 2 years. And I can't believe, other than the occasional missed videos, sorry about that, I can't believe that I've actually stuck to it. I'm not great at sticking to things. I tend to give up. I get bored. That's my problem. I want to do something else. All right, I'm going to stop rabbiting on. I'm going to turn off my video, finish sewing down my lace. I need to grab my book to show you, and I will be back in a second. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so here's my gorgeous book I was talking about. This was actually my Mother's Day present. So if you're looking for favourite flowers, that kind of thing would be a favourite thing for me. Rach, this would be the kind of thing you like. Do you have this book? You should get it. It's The Flower Hunter by Lucy Hunter. Okay, I'll just give you a quick squeeze. Jamie wrote me a little Mother's Day message. And look at all the gorgeous flowers. So many favourite flowers. Ranunculus, poppies. That looks like some cherry blossom. Got bulbs, daffodils. I love them. Helleborgs, is that what they're called? I love them. I tried to grow them in my garden. They haven't really grown. But this is gorgeous. It goes through different seasons. I'll give you a quick flick. Different seasons and different flowers. And arrangements. How to do gorgeous arrangements. The different flowers that flower in each season. Love a room like that with plants. In the country, beautiful tulips. So all these pretty pastely, they're those hellebores that I love. Tried to grow them, didn't work. Might have to try again. Maybe I had the wrong kind of climate for them. Not enough sun, too much sun, I don't know. I'm sure I spotted the ones that you love, Rach. She likes, so I'll be interested to see what she is. So like pink roses like that would be my favourite. Any kind of pretty floral displays. Pastels, pretty, no reds. Get rid of your reds. And then I just wanted to show this part. This section is on natural dyeing, which is fun because, you know, some people have done dyeing of fabrics, and I want to try some natural dyeing. So learning how to get different colours. Like, that is such a pretty page. And then, Rach, this one's for you. Flick forward a bit more. And, oh, really pretty things. But flicking forward a bit more, where was the section I wanted to show you, Rach, was this section. She does making journals. So these are like handmade papers and fabric in there, and oops, sorry, just tipped over my scrap bowl. She has hand dyed things, handmade papers, snippets. So I thought you'd like that as well, Rach. Okay, so the flower hunter, if you're interested, good place to find your favourite flowers. And then I want to show you one more thing. I have to remember the name of the store. I follow her on Instagram, but there's this lady who has a store where she has weaving, and I bought a circular weaving kit which came with all these fibres on the inside. All the ones on the outside are mine, but these inside ones, and then it comes pre-strung up with strands, warps, weft, I can't remember which way they go, and they're kind of knotted in the middle, and then you get all the fibres and you're meant to just weave. So tabby weaving is just the over under. That's what you're supposed to do on this. But I just played around with different techniques, different fibres, getting some chunky texture. This almost looks like it's plaited, but it's just weaving it in different directions. Chenille around the outside. So that was some fun. I quite like weaving. I've done a couple of weaves before, like normal rectangular ones. So that was some fun. I might even hang some bits and pieces off the bottom. So I did that on the weekend while I was at the farm. So anyway, back to my piece, and here is my flower that I'm going to work on. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, you've seen me do this before if you've watched my videos. I might just show you one of the leaves and stitch one of the leaves, and then I'll work on it a bit more and come back and do the flower next week. So my threads are not going to be perfect. I've got the purple to go on the purple section. So let's start with that. So these threads have 2 strands. I know you're not meant to take too much of wool, make it too long. I probably break the rules a little bit. I'm actually going to go with the 2. I could separate them if I wanted it thinner. Can I thread this? It's a thin eye, that one, and not quite. There's some fibres stuck there. I'm going to get a thicker one. That one's not going to thread. Sorry, just picking up some of my scraps I spilt. This one is much thicker. Easy. So it's just a chenille number, probably about 24, 22, 24. So I'm just picking up my scraps. Okay, so I'll do this leaf to show you how you fill in the, you paint with the thread, you fill in the fabric. So once I'm done, you actually won't see all these tacking stitches. If you do, so you can see I've done very large running stitch all over the place just to hold it in place. If you can see them, you can always snip it and just pull them out. But I'm going to stitch straight over the top. So all these are basically just long and short stitches. So I could come all the way up to the top there. That is quite a long stitch. Just as a a bit of a guide. Now, because I'm using 2, it's not going to take me too long to fill it in. Probably, that one's probably a little bit long, that first stitch. So I'll get the purple down first, and then I'll fill in with the green around it. Okay, that will sit straight once I stitch down. It's kind of awkward stitching on a table. I'm going to put my hand under, it's better. There's my cat running around. It's night time, it's time to play. Okay, so that's that first little purple section filled in, and then I've got a little purple section. She's going behind the blind so she can look out the window. So just filling in my other section. And you'll see once this leaf is done, that where the leaf is, it'll be all stitched and you won't see those white tacking stitches. They'll disappear. And just a little bit more on the, I'm just going to add in here, just pat it out a bit more. Okay, so there's my purple. Okay, time to pick a green. I think I might go with that one, and then that one will work well. Now, some of these next threads are thinner. It's not like the nice, that one's nice. It's not like the nice mohair thread. So I'll probably, this one's a tangle. I'll probably, oh gosh, where did I get this one from? I'll probably double it over. Yeah, it is a thin one. When you got thin, it's going to take you longer to fill your leaf. I'm actually going to more than double that over. Let me have a look. Because it's going to take me too long. I'm going to have 4 strands. Okay. Okay, I've got 4 strands. Can you see that's going to be quicker to fill the leaf in? Okay, so now I'm going on the lighter parts. Start with the tip. This isn't a very sharp needle. I like sharper needles than this. I might change to another one after. And just filling it in the direction that you want to. Thinking about the way that the leaf would run in terms of direction. So looking for the lighter parts of the leaf, and then I've got the darker parts, and then I've also got those darker chocolate coloured parts as well, which I've got a chocolate wool that I can use for the veins or the stems. See how it's filling in really quickly with the 4 strands? Much better than one you'd have it probably neater. You could do a much neater stitch, but I actually prefer the chunky look. Chunky, rustic, messy look. So look at that, it's nice and chunky. A little bit of light down here. Okay, so coming back up to the other side, filling in the rest of the lighter parts. Ooh, don't like this needle, it's too blunt. I often stitch with milliner's needles. They're long and they're straight, but they're often sharper. And the eye's usually big enough. The ones I'm using is usually big enough to thread. I know a lot of people use chenille needles, but that's probably better for like tapestry because it's blunt. Just about ready for the colour change. Do a little bit more down the side and then we should be good. All right, so that's my lighter colour. And now we'll go to the darker one. It is raining outside. Love the rain. Love it if it rained all night and I could just listen to it in bed, because that's where I'm going next. All right, thin one as well, very thin one. I am going to triple this over as well. I want to get the same chunkiness that I got with the other thread, and I also have with the mohair, fairly chunky. Can you hear the rain? It's quite heavy. Sounds like there's a river flowing outside. You can hear it dripping in the drains and on the barbecue. And Bobby's sitting, well, she's coming back from the window ledge. She's sitting on there looking at the rain. She can't go out at night. Not allowed. Try that again. All right, almost done. Okay. So let's bring in the darker green. It's stitch like this again. Hopefully, yep, you're on screen, just checking. These colours are coming in nicely together. This is going to be a really textural flower when I'm done. It's kind of therapeutic just sitting here and painting with the thread. It's actually funny, I don't know where I first heard that term. I've used it for a long time. I probably heard someone else say it. I don't think I invented it. I heard Fleur Wood say it in the class I had the other week, and I don't think I heard it from her because I think I've been using it longer than before I did her online course. Actually, I know I have. I've used it for a long time. But I've heard it. I must have heard it somewhere. I don't think I'm smart enough to come up with that good term, painting with thread, but it's kind of perfect, isn't it? You're just filling in sections with thread. Okay, so I'm trying to run with the angle that the leaf would go be coming in on both sides. And then I've got a little bit of brown to add in there. Pretty combination, these greens and the purple. Almost done. Hopefully you sped up this video because it's been a bit of a long one and you're just watching me stitch. I normally turn the camera on and off a bit more so you don't have to sit and watch. But for some of the video I've been rabbiting away, chatting, telling you stuff. Jamie said I've been telling you everything tonight. But I actually... I think I've said this before, I watch videos on fast forward all the time, at least 1.5 to 1.75 times faster. And I think I've said it before, Rachel sounds funny at that speed. I probably do as well. When you're time poor, you just have to do it. Okay. Think we're good there. I just need to add in the brown. So I'll finish this one off the back, just loop it through 2 or 3 times until you think it's safe. You've got to be able to hear that right now. That's even heavier. Such a good sound. All right, got this brown one over here. This is a tangle. I haven't put it on a thing. So am I going to be able to find the end? There it is. Yes, happy days. I don't need much of this because only a little bit I need to stitch. And this one's just a little bit thicker than those other ones, so I might just double this one up. All right. Throw my tangle over there. Get another, that's a very blunt one. That's a bit, no, I'm going to try this one. Go to my sharper one. And there we go. So when you're doing this, and like I've got a lot of leaves to stitch, what I'd do is I'd actually thread up multiple needles in all the different colours, and like I'd stitch brown, 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 brown all straight away, and then I'd go to the purples and then the greens. But for the sake of this demo, I'm just doing one leaf. It'd be more time efficient to do all the same colours that I need at the same time. Okay, just maybe one more stitch. I think I needed to go, have a look. Just saying. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just a little bit of brown. Okay, so first leaf done. It can take a little while to sew this flower, but once it's done, it's going to be nice and textural. You just want to touch it because the mohair is a very soft wool. All right, let me show you up close. Can you see under the light? It's night time. Hopefully you can see that. Actually, why don't I try and zoom in? There you go. Stop wobbling. And there is my first leaf. Okay. So that is what I'm going to show you for tonight. I will attempt to get some stitching of the other leaves done during the week, and then we'll come back and do the flower next week. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for clips from Juju. Bye. Bye.